Testing 1, 2, 3. Sorry about that. Windows updated before the stream, and of course it destroyed my connection from my mic to my thing. Welcome, Namaste Programs. Welcome to another stream, another day of this game. I know I've been promising that we must be near the end for the last 80 streams or so, but hey, one can only dream about there being an ending to this game. Now, let's see what else has this update destroyed on my OBS. Let's see, what was mic audio 2? Mic audio 2 was voice meter aux output. I'm sure you're all excited to find out. In fact, let's test that. That's someone else's stream. Okay, so it's fucked that up as well. Thank you, Windows.
That'll work.
God, I love you, Windows. I love you so much, Windows. That means I need to go here. And let's see. Microsoft Edge needs to be pumping to auxiliary. Thank you, Microsoft. Man, that's crazy. Let's see if that worked. It did. And you shouldn't be able to hear that, but I can hear that. That's how it works. That's how it goes. Yep, definitely working. Alright, sweet. Alright, well, we're heading back to where we began. He's comatose or something like that. How did I get out here in the first place? Down here somewhere. We need to get back on the boat and get back to the mainland, apparently. Alright. Through here. Oh yeah, he's got to go all the way around, does he? Well, let's let him walk. Have a good walk, my friend. Have a good walk. You deserve it. You deserve to take your time. You've done a man's work, sir. You've done a man's job. Too bad she won't live. The fuck has happened here? Swear to God, iPhone man needs to just fix its shit up. That's for sure. Where was the boat? Down here? Question mark? I do not recall where the boat is. These stairs feel ancient. Soldiers' feet ran up them long ago. Here's our boat. The skiff is swaying on the waves by the dock. Let's return to the mainland. We're done here, he says, adjusting his glasses as he looks out over the water. The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet. Continue. Hearing, but for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff. Who's waiting for me? Ain't no one there. Everyone's gone.
Look what the tide brought in.
Says the man without glasses. Suddenly his expression changes and he tilts his head.
I want to call you a teapot, but I'm honestly kind of impressed. No idea where you got all that gear, but there's no doubt in my mind that some bad people are looking for it. Also, you look like a fucking idiot.
True. Rhetoric. Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen. Visual calculus. This is the man with sunglasses from the Whirling in Rags. But where are his sunglasses? Wait, you're the man with sunglasses.
That's right. And you're some kind of murder machine.
The armor. No one else seems to be bothered by it.
Really? They don't seem bothered by it? That's because you're a cop in an exoskeleton.
Yeah, I'm a cop in a goddamn exoskeleton.
Actually, are you? Are you still a cop? There's so much disco going on. It's hard to tell.
Vic, calm down.
Forget about all this. There is a giant...
Not forgetting about anything. Look at
He points at you with both hands. Who are you people?
Hello, I'm Trent Heidelstein. I believe we've met on several occasions.
Have we now, Trant?
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean-Vic Mar, and this is your special task force, or what's left of it.
He says, gesturing towards his companions.
Special consultant Trent Heidelstein, patrol officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We have come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kisoragi, Precinct 57. We've just come from the island where our investigation led us.
He points to the sea fort. Rhetoric. The scene is making him feel. The scene is making even him feel as though he has to justify your actions.
We might need your help with something later.
He adds, suddenly regaining his confidence. Authority, as if he's recalled that he's in fact a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty boy.
This is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
No, Kim, you've got to have my back. Let's destroy them.
Good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
She says warmly, flashing Kim the tiniest of smiles. Composure, letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you. What's this about?
Harry, we want to help you. Tron, I believe this is where you come in.
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
He turns to you. Conceptualization. Shit kid. What an interesting moniker. What's a shit kid? You, shit kid. That's you. Rhetoric. Despite all that you've done, the deserter, the phasmid, the case. Despite all that I've done? No, because of all that you've done. How did you know I was here? The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went. I saved his establishment and still he betrays me. Turn to face the general direction of the whirling and yell, Damn you, cafeteria manager! You've betrayed me for the last time. I understand. Okay, Garter told you. Okay, Garter told you. And she looks around. People on this street helped us too, with your whereabouts. You're a legend among the drunks, Harry. A legendary local drunk. You aren't the man with sunglasses at all. You're not even blonde. Guilty as charged. He exchanged a look with the special consultant. I heard you lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was true. And it was. Good work, Harry. You're insane now. There's one less person for me and everyone else to rely on. Rhetoric. He was too sarcastic for you to realize who he was. Maybe if you hadn't been so sarcastic, I would have realized I knew you. I'm clinically depressed, Harry. Sorry if I wasn't in the mood to butter you up after you told us to fuck off. I don't like being lied to. I didn't lie to you. No one lies to you. You were so fucked up on booze that you couldn't recognize your own partner. You never told me you're not the horse-faced woman, point at her. That seems a bit rude. So, Trant Heidelstein turns out to be Special Consultant Trant Heidelstein. Yes, I'm Trant Heidelstein. I never said I wasn't Trant Heidelstein. Wait, what was up with the kid then? Michael? Michael's my son. Oh yeah? What was up with all the interesting history? Spying on me? What is this? I don't remember any of this. Did I miss this part? No, I was just interested in the Feld building. Oh, it was that guy. And the Martinez beachhead. And Mikhail wanted to see Martinez. It was a coincidence. Oh, is that where I've seen this guy before? Okay, fair enough. He was looking at the poster with his son. What are you special consulting here? Why, indeed. He looks at the dilapidated shacks they knew. I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s, like partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory. He's here to see if you're insane. He's smart. Let's move on. Duped again. No one's who they say they are. Duped? Hey, here's a brilliant idea. Don't be a morbid drunk and you won't be duped so easily. Gardener, scab leader, this turns to the lieutenant. Tell me at least you are who you said you were. Yes, I'm still Kim Kipsoragi, still a lieutenant from Precinct 57. You never told me you're not the horse-faced woman. Lieutenant, she says with a heavy sigh, my name is not horse-faced woman. It's Judy Minot. I was assigned to your unit 2 months ago. I thought we were friends. I'm truly sorry, Officer Minot. Okay, another sigh. You're my commanding officer. I really want to respect you. I want us to have a normal relationship. That will never happen, Jude. He's the rudest man on earth. He is the reason why the rest of us have to take sensitivity training, and I hate sensitivity training. You mentioned a task force. Yeah, Major Crimes Unit under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicamare. Ring any bells? Yeah, totally, I get it. Major Crimes Unit. He looks at Minot. He doesn't remember. See, he really doesn't remember. It wasn't a sick joke. At least that's good. Yeah, that's very good. Where have you been all this time? Where have we been? We've been fucking off as far as I remember. He crosses his arms. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All will burn, detect or die. All will burn, Satellite Officer Vicamare. Make no mistake about it. Here we go. Alcoholic delirium. Visions. All must pay. He shakes his head. None of this is ringing any bells. The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trent, he turns to the blonde. This is where you come in. How bad is it? Well, he doesn't have visible tremors. He talks without slurring. He can drive a boat. What accent is this now? He was American, but I can't do his particular version of American. He's standing, reasoning, all good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic. Rhetoric, meaning you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, isola, pale, and so on. As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, he makes air quotes, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was, it's all very interesting. Interesting? Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, he turns to you, what do you think happened to you, neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically? Wait, socioeconomically? You think I'm so poor I lost my memory? I drank so much I lost my memory, and now I'm slowly recovering it. I made it all up. It was a fantasy, a stupid joke. I know what I am. It might have something to do with an anomaly in the church, a 2mm hole in the world. I'm a highly experimental detective. This was a method I used to solve the case. Something so sad happened to me that I couldn't be me anymore. It was a defense mechanism. I drank so much I lost my memory, and I'm now slowly recovering it. He is getting better, and I can confirm that he drank a lot of alcohol prior to it happening. I believe he drank, he turns to you. People do that, especially this one. What they don't do is forget their whole life because of drinking. But Detective Vicamare, she interjects, he has blanked out before. I have? Yes, a couple of times, after some of the more serious benders. She pauses, remembering. One was after the 2 drunks case, the other when we looked into that mural. Conceptualization. So you don't remember not remembering. Beautiful. Reaction speed. The 2 cases in your ledger, the unsolvable case and the next world mural. Those were recent. Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes, practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak. What do you mean? Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all, something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here. He gestures towards the scenery. Look at the ruins, the neon, listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years as a police detective. He's like a magnetic reader on a world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it, total input. Hardwired to the free market, he nods confidently. He just needed it for it to end. Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the Major Crimes Unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know that. He is not a cretin, and he is able to do work, if not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective. Fuck all of you. I don't want to be in your unit. No, Harry, fuck you. You already fucked us. I've already explained this shit to Price twice, to Berdyaeva 4 times. I'm your partner. I answer for you when you're not there. What now? Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here. Just stand there? Yeah, just stand there. It's cool. Really? No, now we discuss that, he points to the water. What the fuck did you do to our motor carriage? Why is that there? Why is it there, Harry? Drama. Lie. Just bide your time. Ask something. Then lie. Hold on. In the ocean. It was stolen by Jakob Ure. That wasn't me. It was stolen by traffic hooligans. I drove it into the ocean when I was drunk. I thought the killer would be underwater. He wasn't. The time had come. Tequila sunset. I don't know. I don't know what I was doing there. Hold on. In the ocean? No, the time had come. Tequila sunset. Oh, ha, 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 ho, ho, ho. He grabs his stomach in mirthless laughter. Tequila sunset, not sunrise, because you're almost dead. So funny, Harry. Thank you for fucking me. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of my payslip. You know that, right? You're gonna get fired, and I'm gonna pay till I die. It doesn't matter. He exhales to calm his breathing. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge. Wait, my badge? The thing that tells people you're a police officer. I got my badge right here. Show it to them. In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic and the badge slips out of your hand. Catch it. Boo. Savoir faire. You juggle the badge for a second unsuccessfully and it lands on the ground some 2 meters away. Why would that damage my health? Ouch, you strained your elbow trying to catch that stupid thing, damn it. He found it. The patrol officer picks it up and gives it back to you, slippery and cold. He found it, Jean. It's his badge. The man stares at you unimpressed. And your gun? Rhetoric, as if having your badge and gun are natural states, not achievements. Conceptualization. What is it with all these material objects? Gun, gun. Just repeat gun. My gun is right here. I upgraded my gun to a rifle. Gun, badge, car. These are things. Things don't matter. People do. My gun is right here. Might as well. Ooh, he has it and he didn't drop it. He wipes his brow in mock relief. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone. I'm not drunk. I haven't started drinking again. That's not a lie. I guess I did have one drink in this whole that was like 3 days ago now. But it doesn't even matter that I found my gun. You were never supposed to lose it in the first place. Not lost is your gun's natural state, you drunk bum. So what? I've had a little drink. A little drink? You smell like a corpse. I'm downwind and I can barely breathe. He covers his nose. You smell like shit. You let the suspect escape, Harry. Clouds you something because you're too drunk to assess her flight risk. We've read the reports, Lieutenant Kitsuragi's. We know. Not taking her in was the right thing to do. She gave a vital clue that led us to the island. Yes, I let her go as an act of mercy. That's just a small detail in a huge case you know nothing about. That doesn't matter, nothing does. We are looking at the oxygen holocaust times a quadrillion. I have come to know the final fate of man in the universe. I'm going with that one. Oh well, if you've got really high, then I guess it's okay. He rubs his face in frustration. Let's not even get into the other suspect who also escaped. Or the catatonic old lady with the police lights. Or the fact that you're Everett Clare's little peon now, doing I don't know what for him. That's small time stuff. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote. Fuck off with your bullshit. Compared to the 7 people who were gunned down, the streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass murder. He did everything he could, the lieutenant interrupts him. We did everything we could. The company hired unvetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals. He did so at considerable risk to his person. Remember, he was shot. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been. I also solved the case. It's solved, all of it. Yeah, it was a massacre. We got wiped. Where the hell were you? The firefight is a trivial matter compared to the greatest discovery of this century. I'm just sorry. I also solved the case. It's solved, all of it. Detective, it's better if I do that, he says in a lowered voice. Rhetoric, it's so much better if he does this, 1,000,000 times better. Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation. He brushes a stray strand of hair out of his eye and coughs. You spent the week with him on this case. What is your take? On the case? On Lieutenant Yefreto Dubois. Well, a cold gust of wind, he pulls up his collar. The drinking, the lost gun, also losing his badge, that's all true. And he's been drinking on the job. The man sighs deeply. Then there's the apocalypse thing. At first I thought it was a joke, but it's not. He actually thinks the world is about to end. In a bloodletting or a gloaming, we're about to become vapor even. It's worrying, especially considering his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a Mazovian socioeconomist. He wants to liquidate the ruling class, which, again, for a police officer is a little odd. You should yell something. I am a policeman of the state to come. That's not a good idea. Yes, let's let the big boys talk. And then there's the motor carriage in the sea and the constant smoking everywhere all the time. He breathes in sharp. I had one cigarette this whole game. But despite all this, he is a great detective, one of the best I've seen, in fact. He can talk human beings into telling him anything, and he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped working on the case. He is tireless, madly driven. Well, except that one time when he was stopped to sing karaoke, which, by the way, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out. Yeah, it was what it was. Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He apprehended a revolutionary brigade who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who has probably committed other murders over those years. He paused. Oh, and he also discovered a new species. A new species? A colossal stick insect. It was on the island camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid. He takes out the photo of the phasmid and shows it to the officers across the yard. The wind blows, flapping the glossy rectangle in his hand. You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind. As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered. Hosiana, boom shakalaka, motherfucker! So as you can see, I'm a pretty okay detective and an absolutely giant communist. This is what I've been trying to tell you about. Say nothing. Boom shakalaka, motherfucker. Fucking hell is that? The man cranes his neck, still looking at the photo. Is this somehow connected to the case? Detective, he turns to you. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, I believe the pheromone it emits may be responsible for the killer's mental degradation. The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence, exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia. He fell into a stupor. After its appearance, he became near catatonic. So it is connected. Ellipsis. I must say this, he points at the photo. It's absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for it. Yes, it really does make it hard to fire the junk. His tired eyes follow the photo as Lieutenant puts it away. Empathy. This is a very, very sad man who has just seen something that's made him forget his sadness. Rhetoric. Now you can make your case. Now is the time. Now or never. Now is the time for a glass of water. Because we must hydrate. It is of très importance. Also, the phasmid was female, the reeds are its nest, the killer, Lilianovich Dross, we have a strong motive for him. The previous head of the Debardeurs unit was assassinated by our killers, and I also fixed the strike situation. There was also a dead man on the boardwalk, a missing person I found. I also looked into the mystery of the Doom commercial area. I confiscated drugs from Kuno's dads. Also, the phasmid was female, the reeds are its nest. A female? What makes you think so? You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female and the nesting behavior too, I think. Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest? Not as far as I could see. There were other things there though. He turns to you. Conceptualization. It's interesting time. Forget about the rest. It had gathered items in its nest, a helmet, a scope, and a passport. I think it reproduces by parthenogenesis. It had mandibles that looked like hair, and it was completely white on the inside. Forget about the rest. Interesting times. It had gathered items in its nest, a helmet, a scope, and a passport. Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers. They are for attracting mates. Encyclopedia. Bowers are built by males of species who can't afford colourful mating displays physically. This one was plain coloured. It could have been male, actually. It must be robust if it can move a helmet with its limbs. He trails off, lost in thought. Savoir-faire. It could maybe roll it, like a dung beetle. I think it reproduces by parthenogenesis. As in cloning itself? What makes you think so? It told me. He ignores your answer. Then it wouldn't matter if it's male or female. The bower would just be a rudimentary behavior formed before the parthenogenic mutation. Logic. That makes sense, yes. Very interesting. He looks around, quickly assessing the coast. Such organisms are extremely vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the whole species. We're probably looking at conservation efforts here. Conclude. It had mandibles that looked like hair, and it was completely white on the inside. Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, and a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs. Incredible, he repeats, turning to Vikmar. The PR value of this is exceptional. Cop discovers new species, maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid. No, that's too much. This would really help with some of the problems we've been having. Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest. He smiles. You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo. Without it, he shakes his head. Suggestion. You're doing good here, perhaps only for a moment, but still. The killer, Lilianovich Drox. We have a strong motive for him. Lilianovich, the special consultant raised an eyebrow. A revolutionary matronym? The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms, Krasovich, Larsovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronism, derived from the mother's name instead. The man's mother was Lilian. He's Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made it to Revachol. So it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called. Thank you, Trent. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. He turns to you. You said you have a motive. Of course, excuse me. I just thought it was noteworthy. He killed the mercenary in an act of jealousy. Jealousy? I thought this Lilianovich was an old man, to have been hiding for 50 years. 70-something? A strange psychosexual fixation, aggravated possibly by proximity to the phasmid and its chemicals. He himself gave a political reason, said he had killed an enemy combatant. Also, we have a snapper's nest with full view of the room in which the mercenary died, right on the island, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to. It's a clean win. Oh, it's way more than that. More than that, a perfect folding mechanism, like the phasmid. It's way more than that. I'll win her back with this. No, it's my masterpiece. They'll teach this in cop school. I did all I could. Every second was a struggle. I'm still not completely satisfied with it. It could just be a little neater. It's more than that. A perfect folding mechanism, like the phasmid. Perfect folding mechanism? He rolls his eyes. Get over yourself, Harry. I can still smell the booze on the wind. Smell. God damn it, it is bad. Even you can smell it. I did, the one time I drank alcohol was back on day 1 or something. I've literally been shot and been asleep for 2 days since then. The previous head of the Debardiers Union was assassinated by our killer. The lieutenant lowers his voice just a little. This is a conversation for when we are no longer out in the open, in Martinez, where Everard and Edgar Clare have ears everywhere. Reaction speed. And eyes too. Your return from the island must not have gone unnoticed. Understood, of course. The consultant too has lowered his voice. I would prefer not to partake in anything union related for political neutrality. And I also fixed the strike situation. How? It seems to be ongoing. I see red banners on the gates. He didn't quite solve it. He cross-pollinated information between the company rep and Everard until the rep came to see that the union desires war, at which point Mrs. Messier decided to... He shrugs. What? Hand clear the terminal? It was an accident. I did it for the world revolution. I just told some people some things. No big deal. Things are calmer now. I masterminded a solution to an unsolvable problem. I just told some people some things. No big deal. Things are calmer now. Sounds like you got played, Harry, because you were off your tits on Al Ghul. Maybe. Maybe? Certainly. You're Everard Clare's peon now, just as I said. He's a mob boss, did you know? Is that why you want us to investigate the assassination of the previous union head thing, to get off Everard's hook? No, it's nothing like that. He was reckless with information, but ethical. We don't owe anyone anything. This allowed us to stabilize things in Martinez. God, calm down, Jean. Reaction speed. Silence. Good. The man doesn't know what to say. There was also a dead man on the boardwalk, a missing person I found. Yes, fallen through a gap in the boardwalk, drunk. How did you know I found him? The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family stuff. You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us. Still, she says quietly, good work with the missing person, detective. I also looked into the mystery of the doomed commercial area. He shrugs. I don't know what a doomed commercial area is. Rue de Saint-Gilles, Lane 10. A commercial building where all businesses go bankrupt. I looked into it. Why? That's not what you're supposed to do here. There was a possible witness in there, and it was close to the crime scene. He was just chasing a lead and ended up advising a local shopkeeper. It was okay. Of course, she turns to Vicmari. Call it community outreach, right? Dodged a bullet there. For a moment it seemed like you were just wasting time. I confiscated drugs from Kuno's dad. Who's Kuno? You don't want to know. You're right, Lieutenant. I don't. He turns to you. You snorted the drugs. I know you did. It's alright. I mean, at this point, anything is but the drink. So what do you say? Want to take this hot shit back? Point to yourself? Chat, I just pointed to myself, and I don't even have my camera on. I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder, he shrugs. So I have to. Jude? A quick nod. Honestly, anything that ends this trial is okay with me. Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go. The return complete. Okay, he sighs. We have vehicles in the square and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go. Wait, I have a few questions before we go, about who I am. The man looks westward impatiently, hearing, jingling his car keys in his pocket. Who am I? Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry. What? Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but before? Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Couron. She looks around. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe... No way, I was a revelator learned in the ancient art. You haven't told us about that, you've just told us about being a gym teacher. That does explain a lot. No, it doesn't. I'm not even a physical instrument. Patty, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair, the collection of found sportswear I've amassed. Some of your more old school wording choices, your posture even, the constant stretches. Physical instrument. Also, this guy. Just everything about this guy. Savoir-faire. And this guy too. Hand-eye coordination. God, even this javelin throwing freak here. Oh God. Contact Mike. Of course. Contact Mike. He's been on about Mike again? The detective shakes his head. I hate that guy. Contact Mike is a reprise of the most inspiring basic sporting principle of open competition, a 5,000 to 1 rank outsider. When was this? When was I a gym teacher? You said in Couron I was a gym teacher there. Why did I join the RCM then? Contact Mike. Oh, you don't say, he arches an eyebrow. Does he also vault an impassable gulf of finance and privilege? It is getting cold out, she looks around at the dilapidated fishing visage. When was this? When was I a gym teacher? In your 20s or late 20s, you really let yourself go since then. He looks you over. You said in Couron. I was a gym teacher there? Yes, you taught gym in Couron. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were a high school gym teacher. Smell. The smell of sweat and glue. The worn floorboards. Encyclopedia. Couron is just east of Jamrock. It was a short walk every morning to the baseball field or the sports building. High school, Harry. You're going on with Kuno, Andre, Assel, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you're so juvie. Why did I join the RCM then? The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight, be more than you are, all that. Inland Empire. You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries and incredible hope. An ocean full of hope. Okay, I see now. I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher. Why am I like this? It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you're a drunk. Pain threshold. You really went with it too. Really maximized the damage. Some chick. Who? Dora something. Dora Ingerland, he thinks? Yeah, you mentioned her name. Reaction speed. Not Dora Dubois? So we weren't even married? No one is married anymore. This is Rover show. When was this? God, I don't know, he thinks. 6 years ago? She was way before my time. 6 years? Yeah, or 7? You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora Engerland really tore you a new one. A big one. Who was she? Incredibly bangable? No, I meant what did she do? She was incredibly fuckable. A beautiful bourgeois woman, wayfish, like a Welkin basically. Conceptualization. Snow Welkin. Blonde Welkin. Pain threshold. Pain Welkin. I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was, one you never recuperated from. Look, she turns her face to the sea. The sun is about to go down, it's time to go home. I think she taught in the Académie des Arts east of the river. Way east, hard to say which came first, the middle class chick or the drink. Egg in the chicken kind of thing. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist, several degrees harder. And there's something harder than a psychiatrist, he paused to think. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist, he paused to think. A forensic psychiatrist. Go talk to that. In other words, he's heard enough about this. Okay, am I a dirty cop working for La Puta Madre? No. No, because the suspects seem to think... You're too unstable to work for a mob boss. You're suicidal, Harry. No mob boss would take you. I assure you, I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit. He would immediately backpedal out of it. Precinct 41, what kind of station is it? Us? We're the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? We're the bad guys. No one likes us. Oh, that's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You're just understaffed. And everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price. Thank you for the follow, Tierney. I appreciate it very much. Thank you for the raid, Smoky Love. Appreciate you. That's very, very kind of you. Hello, people. Welcome. Welcome. I mean, you're coming from Destiny 2, which is at least shooting people in the face, to a visual novel where I'm just reading out very bad accents and things. So, much appreciated. Smokey, you're a legend. I wonder what happens there, because I was actually hosting you. Am I hosting myself now? There's an interesting thought. Tierney, definitely, I follow everyone who follows me, so I will do that when I get the chance. Where are we? He tilts his head northwards. Get back to it. We left Torson and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's not good. Torson and McLean? Mac the Torso Torson and Chester McLean. She arches an eyebrow. They're not fit to run a wing. Believe me, things are as shaky as it is. They are damn iconic though. Torson and McLean. Thank you for the follow, Fast Ronan. Let me, I have a very small screen here. Let me bring up something. Thank you for the follow, Psycho Trick, Sassy Shashi, and Tierney. I already said thank you everyone for the follows. I really appreciate that. Love you all. Let me try and get my, there we go. They are damn like an iconic duo, I take it. Yeah, not like us. Two clinically depressed old men. Where's the contrast here? We're garbage. And the Sea Wing is? God, he sighs. There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake. There's also a lot of outside help involved. Not only me, he smiles, other losers too. And Price is... Let me get my proper chat back up again. There we go. Ah, was it frozen? Well, look, you know, I stream at 6,000 kbs, which sometimes, because I'm not even affiliated, you probably get some bad. It tries to do source, and if you know. The accents aren't amazing. I'm trying to get better, Natalie. Thank you for saying so. I appreciate it. But they're getting better. They're getting better. I live in France, Seiko, so if at least the French accents doable, although it's worse than it used to be. I used to do a really great French accent, and now that I live in France, it's just gone to hell. Ptolemy Price, he's the son of the old Price, one of the founders of the RCM. He is one of the most highly regarded men in the force. You're lucky. Did we recently shoot up a church by any chance? Point to the church. So he remembers that. Yes, there may have been a raid on some churches. It wasn't good press. Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town, to be clear. What happened? Why did we need to go there? Oh, well, thank you, Psycho. I appreciate that. As I said, I'm doing this because I want to get better at it. You know, I used to... You know, I've never wanted to do voice work, but I think I was mentioning to Nathalie the other day, I used to be a part of a writers group because, you know, at one point I wanted to be an author. Just too lazy for that. And yeah, everyone would get me to read out their writing because, you know, and I was like, well, didn't you learn in school? I learned in primary school that when you read, you've got to, you know, try and do accents and whatnot. So, you know, why not? Why not? I mean, I could just go, our enemies were hiding in a church to the best of our information. That's it. I'm not talking about this anymore. Your security clearance is shit here right now. You have to wait for it to go up. No one's, you know, that actually hurts my voice doing that. So let's not do that. Let's try and spice things up a bit. And given that this isn't really a game, it's a novel. Really? Ghostwriting. Yeah, writing's it's not a touchy subject for me, but you know, like every day I think I'm going to do like 10 minutes of writing today, and every day I don't do it. So the problem is the book I'm writing at the moment is kind of my chef d'oeuvre, my masterpiece, and it's just the first draft is always shit. I know that, but it's just it hurts my soul that it's so shit. So I need to get back to it. I'm fixing other parts of my life, you know, streaming every day. I upload a YouTube video every day, and I need to get into writing every day. But, you know, little steps, one step at a time. But yeah, writing, I've always wanted to make movies or tell stories, and you know, movies take like 1 million people, and I'm not a team player. I want to be able to do everything myself. So that's why I like streaming. That's why I like content creation with YouTube. I can do it all myself. I do a bit of GTA machinima as well. Yeah, Psycho. It's so hard, isn't it? It's so hard because I mean, like this one I've had in my head for you know, like 20 years. And, you know, I've written another couple of books that I'll never publish. You know, one of them's pretty polished. I just hate it. I don't like it, even though I basically finished. One's just like, as part of a writing course I did, I ended up writing 3 drafts. So, you know, that's probably like 300,000 words of crap that I wrote for that one. And that was all practice to do this, you know, my masterpiece, the one that I want to tell, that's going to be, you know, my story, that in my voice and all of this. But yeah, it's so painful to actually put it down. So I work in the bloody murder station. Okay, it's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there hard every day. Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Revachol, Faubourg technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us. The press will blow over, he says in a reassuring tone. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it. Hey, you're published though. I mean, apart from, you know, like blog posts and Medium articles, they're the only things I've ever gotten off my ass and published. So, you know, hey, that's something to be proud of. And, you know, if they've disappeared from the universe, you just need to take a sort of Zen Buddhist approach of that. It's like one of those Mandelas, you know, where they use sand to make, you know, to make art, and then they just blow the sand away. The important thing is you did it, Psycho. The important thing is you did it. Grats to you. You know, just getting something done. That is the hardest thing on the planet, mate. Hardest thing on the planet. Especially something that's long-term, like writing a book. Thank you again, Lieutenant. The Phasmid. I need to tell Lena about this ASAP. Oh, by the way, people watching, this is basically the end of the game. I've been at the end of the game for about 15 streams now because it just keeps going on. But if we were planning on ever playing Disco Elysium, this might be spoilers. Now, the thing is, it's so big and sprawling. Each time you play, I'm sure if you take different decisions, it's all totally different. So you're probably seeing a different ending than what you'd have anyway, but just fair warning. Spoiler alert, I guess. The Phasmid, I need to tell Lena about this ASAP. Who is Lena? Encyclopedia. She lives at 113 Tabernacle Road in Jamrock, remember? A cryptozoologist. She lives in Jamrock on Tabernacle Road. She told me about this Phasmid. Good on you, Psycho. Get it written. Get it written, mate. And I'm sorry, mate, I'm Australian, so I will say mate regardless of what actual gender you are, so I apologise if you think I'm assuming your gender, my bad. Yeah, I need to do more short stories. I used to write quite a few short stories and then decided I'm going to write my, big novel, and just like everyone else who makes that decision, I basically just fell into my middle age and haven't done it yet. It'll happen one day, 1 year, one of these decades. Tabernacle? It's on the way over, near where you live, on Perdition. She looks at Vikmara. Fine, if we're going to drop you off anyway. She and her husband were conducting the search for the Phasmid. It's their discovery, in part. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news for a change. Lieutenant Kitsuragi, what will you do now? Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. I will have to be good to cover all this, then I'll have a serious talk with my captain. About what? He pulls up his collar and looks around. I don't need to do his accent when I'm doing that. The cold spring light reflected in the lenses of his glasses. Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening, Torevasho. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate. That's right, Natalie. Yes, and well, look, I don't have Perth. I love people from Perth. Perth people make good friends. I've got a couple of good friends who are Perthians. I don't know what you say. Perthers maybe. Western Australians, great people. They're a different breed. They're just a different breed. Australia's so wide, it's what, 8 hours on an aeroplane between Perth and Sydney. I'm from Sydney, so. Yeah, no. The Australian accent comes and goes. I'm not fully Aussie-ocker, as they call it. Actually, Nat, why are you changing your name, by the way? Because I found you because I really liked the idea of a cat isle, which was your previous handle, and I'm like, yeah, Cat Island. What a fucking great idea! I love cats. A whole island of cats, that would be awesome. So, anyway, I've got nothing. You, Natalie Cuddly, that's just as good. I didn't follow your poll on Twitter, but because yeah, you get to choose what you. I'm not going to tell you what to name yourself. Call yourself whatever you like. Distant traffic. A scrap of newspaper drifts by, carried by the wind. Want to do that at Station 41? Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of two captains with my doom-mongering. No, I meant investigate. Come work in Precinct 41. Work with Price? A crooked smile quivers on his lips. I'm flattered, but I don't know if I... Rhetoric. This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one, but he's at a loss. They read it something else, right? Like Carlisle or something like that? People don't read. Look, here I am, like, I'm probably the only person on Twitch right now reading something off the screen. Oh, Canberra. Well, send them my commiserations. As someone from Sydney, Canberra is a cold, boring place. I'm joking, friends from Canberra. I am joking, but I'm also not joking. I have spent some time in Canberra. I had a friend who lived there, so I would go and visit him quite often. And yeesh, that's a boring place. Politicians, it's all politicians. It's all people want to work for politicians, and and public servants. And look, it's a beautiful town, and it's a well-made city because it's constructed. It was built by someone. Ah, well, she's in the right place, Canberra. Brothels and politicians. If there isn't a better mix, you know, that's like peanut butter and jelly, right? I just hope she's not too bored and too cold. It gets so cold in Canberra. It's up in the, I want to say the mountains, but to call anything in Australia a mountain is laughable. But yeah, too cold, too boring. Although, I mean, these days, I don't even leave the house. So, you know, I could possibly, no problem living, I could live anywhere in the world. I could live in Canberra. I'm just being unnecessarily cruel. It's basically, they teach us at a school in Sydney to hate Canberra people. I mean, that's just how it works. I don't know what it's like around the world, but it'd be a bit like, you know, like the French and the English hate each other. You know, even though they're neighbours and probably quite similar. You know, the French and the Americans hate each other, even though they're quite similar in the way that they go about things. They just speak a different language. Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered. The lieutenant turns very serious all of a sudden. I would have to tie things up in the GRIH first, but I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbour. And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant, she says with a smile. Piles that need to get back to. Mountains, even. Yeah, exactly. You know, Florida. Well, you know, I'm sure even, like, what's near Florida? My geography's terrible, but I'm sure Florida and Atlanta hate each other, even though they're closer than Florida, you know, Florida and Los Angeles, for example, or California. You know, New York and New Jersey hate each other, but come on, they're really basically the same people. You know, and I only know that from movies. I don't know anything about America, but hey, there you go. Oh, achievement unlocked. What's it? Recruit Detective Kim Kitsuragi, Precinct 57's finest. I do like the sound of that. He returns her smile. He's really considering it. I'm ready. End. Thanks for liking, Stone. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for, you know, mate, I, as Natalie knows, as Smoked knows, I am a professional lurker. I very rarely chat in, you know, because I'm not a chatter. But, you know, hey, thank you for the lurk. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the lurkers. Anyone who's out there lurking, not chatting, please, please continue. I'm glad you're enjoying it in enough to even give me a lurk. That's very, that warms my heart. Thank you, Stone to the bone. I'm ready. End. Good. She looks at you, then Vicamare. Fuck it, let's go. The man points down the street. Trent bought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock. What about the fucking dude, the murderer? We've got to go get him. He's back on the island. Good to be busy, Stone. Yeah. Back when I was a office worker, I used to keep streams off in the back corner with no sound on, just seeing what people were doing, watching the chat. So, you know, expert lurkers. No, Psycho. Again, if you chat, that's great. Happy to have a chat. Love having a chat. If you're just watching and, you know, not wanting to chat, that's just as good. Each to their own. Shivers. Under the evening sky, a great district turns on its lights. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls inside, fire traps as far as the eye can see, from Main Street to Precinct 41, atop the motorway to Boogie Street disappearing in the rain of the horizon. On the horizon. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by the factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue Saint-Jérôme, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time. Esprit de corps. Torsen? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstam? No. Vicmare? Yes. Dubois? Yes. What the fuck is this? Really? Nick Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing, Captain Telemy Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in the office and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through. When he does, he'll side with the people. Understood, Gottlieb returns to the list. Mino? Of course. Oh, well, thank you, Saiku. I I played D&D back in the 80s and haven't done since. So, oh my god, this is the end of the game. Okay, it's only taken 40 hours, and I thought it was going to finish about 8 streams ago. So here we go. Wonderful, The Woman Looks North. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now? Title screen. Credits. Holy shit, what? My god, what a game. If you can call it that. What a story. Whoever wrote that, Robert Kurwitz, hands down, you know, that is so much good writing. Incredible. What a world that was constructed. Was it the future? Is it the past? Is it an alternate reality? Insane. Insane. I was there. Well, I'm gonna have to watch the, Do I know any of these voice actors? I don't recognize any of them. Some of them were pretty good, some of them were excellent, and some of them were pretty shit. So, as it goes with voice acting, unfortunately. In saying that, much better than my skills. Big ups to the voice actors of the world. Not an easy job, I have found over the last few streams, few days, few hours, 40 hours of this trying to speak. It really does a number on your throat, let me tell you. And I don't know if you're still there, Smoke, but I think you may have actually been my very first raid ever. So thank you for that. Very glad that you brought some people to be here when I finally finished this game. Yeesh, it's taken some time. I mean, you know, 40 hours on a MMO or something where you're shooting things in the face is bloody easy, but 40 hours on a visual novel, that's a different story altogether. But we did it. We did it. It's now going to be archived on the YouTubes and the VODs of the world, there forever, and it's done. I can blame you, Natalie. Thank you, Natalie. You are, and continue to be, way too nice. I don't know why you are being so nice to me and Smoke and Ajray and everyone else in this little community that you have around you. Very much appreciated. Thank you. Make sure... I mean, it's kind of silly. I imagine most of you already are, but if you're not following Natalie, she's a streamer as well and does some absolutely awesome... She has an absolutely amazing persona and community. She's really sweet and, you know, her streams are just a lot of fun. I tend to have them on when she's on. Again, I'm usually just lurking, but... And spoiler alert, she's been playing some Overwatch, and to be perfectly honest, a couple of years ago